Wednesday, everybody. Come on in for a moment with Celeste, and we're being streamed live today on the Crafty Bunch, and we're just popped in for a minute here to get ahead of the game a little bit. So we'll just kind of wait, and I'll see when my dear sweet friend here, Heidi, gets me in, and when she does, we'll get going. I guess you don't want to see my calendar, do you? I guess not. I'll put it down here for now. Had to take a look and see what all I was doing this month. Oh gosh, sometimes I forget. Do you ever forget? Oh gosh, I do pretty good. I write it all down. My little table here, cutter, is so dirty. Tried washing it off and it just won't, because you know, too many times I use it for a scrunch table. You know, for my, when I do my journals, I'll just do it on here, which I really shouldn't do, but I do. I have to say. So we'll just wait a minute here, and when I see, hi Valerie, my first one to see is Valerie in Canada. How you doing, my dear friend? Hope your day's going a little bit better than it has been. But we went out this morning. Where did we go? Went and got coffee. It's a nice little coffee shop not too far from us that you can go in, and oh, they have really good baked goods. Oh my gosh, you guys. And then there's Joyful Artistry by Heidi, who is our hostess with the mostest today on the Crafty Bunch. The event that we're doing right now is Wednesday, Vintage Wednesday. And Holly threw in a little piece of a challenge to, she wanted us to, as we're doing our pieces today, our work today, to throw in something that is musical, has music, reminds us of music, all those fun things. So that's what I'm going to do. And then following me after I get through here in an hour is my wonderful sweet friend Michelle with My Shell Bell Creations, and so she will be on right after me. So we'll go ahead and get started. And we're going to work on a piece today that I had bought a couple of these a while back, and they're already completed. I had never seen a journal folio done like this. So with the other one I have, I'm going to actually tear it apart and figure out how you make them. But this is I'm going to use this for ephemera, is what I would say. I'm going to stuff it full of different ephemera. But you could also use it, you know, to put receipts and different things like that. But look at this. It's made from a student notebook folder, okay? So you can see there, and then it has, so up here it was the 5-star, Mead 5-star folder, okay? So the person that I have found this from has taken and had it all put together, and now I'm going to try to add my touch to this. But have any of you seen these before? I just thought it was so different. So you've got, this is the flip. It's two-sided. So see how your folder would have looked. And then looks like they angled the edges. And then she's got one pocket here, and then another pocket here. So let's just get going here. I'll put you down a little bit. I have to remember I shouldn't touch my camera. So we're back. Hope you didn't get thrown off. Okay, so I am going to get started with this, and wish me luck, okay? But I have these papers that I'm going to use to cover it and to cover the pockets and everything. But look at this pretty paper. Isn't that beautiful? This is one that I had snatched up from when Joann's closed. And I've just been hoarding it. I've been hanging on to this pretty piece. So this is what I'm going to do for the cover and on the front and the back. So I'm going to see, because it actually, you can't like do a wraparound. I could if I wanted to do a half of one. But I'm going to take it and I'm just going to take it right up to the edges. And we're going to glue her on the front here. So let's get started with this piece. I'm thinking maybe I can do it with my Mod Podge. I'm hoping. Hope my Mod Podge will hold it like I think it should. So let's just give it a good coating of the Mod Podge. I have been a busy girl. I haven't done hardly had any energy to do anything here for several weeks, and all of a sudden last night after I did my live I got energy, and I've had it ever since. So I've been working on different projects. Okay, so who do we have on? We have our Flint Valley. There's my sweet Patsy Ray. Hi, Patsy. And there's LaBelle Junk at Home. Hi there, sweet friend. And my dear friend Peggy. Oh, thank you guys for all coming in. Okay, so I'm going to take this pretty piece and we're going to just even it up here. I'm going to put it right over, not over the edge, but right where that seam is at. Because, you know, I don't want to mess up anything here. And then I'm going to see if I can slide this down so that this will be right on the edge of the top. I can feel it there. Okay. All right. Give it a good pressing. A pressing and a sliding. All right. Then I'll just come up here and I'm going to trim this off. Right up to the edge. Come down here and trim this off. This is definitely a very unique way to make a journal out of the notebook, a folder. I just love it when I find new things that I can try to figure out how to do. If I get it figured out, I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I get it figured out. I don't think it can be too hard. I don't think it could be too hard. It's just folding it up and cutting, looks like for me. Well, hardest part here is just making my little trim piece, okay? And we'll cut that down. All right, so we've got that part done. It's a little scraggle edge, but I'll fix it. Okay, so there's the front. Now let's come over and do the same thing here to the back. Looks like the Mod Podge is going to hold it, so that's good. Let's see here. Oops, let me get this turned down. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Jill. Welcome in, friend. Swish, 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 right? Still in my good old decoupaging mood, it seems like. Okay. Put that on. Alright, now we're going to put this one on this way. Kind of leave a little black crease, and that's where the fold is at. And then I'm probably going to put some of my vintage trims on it. Hi, Debbie. 2 days in a row. I know. What's the deal, girlfriend? Oh, you've been working outside. What have you been doing? I am making a journal out of a notebook folder. And it's got pockets and things. So it was already pre-made for me. So now I'm just taking it and I'm going to have get to do the fun part. I won't have to do all the measuring. Which you all know I just love to do. Oh gosh. Okay. Cut that edge off there, cut down here. I'm going to snip it over here a little that I missed. Okay. And we'll come back down here. And we've just got to do this piece down here. This is one when we get it all finished and I've got it like I want to have it. That will be on my next sale that we have. Trying to catch up and get some things created for it. Okay, so there's my front. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put some lace trim over the spine, the little spine. Okay, so I think I might be able to find some goodies in here, you think? And let's see, what do we want to go with on that? It's a pretty piece. This here's kind of a real pale peach. That might work on there. Let's see. That will work. That'll be actually perfect for the color. So let's go ahead and put that on. Okay, now I'm going to need my stinky glue. And we're just going to put it right here. And I may come in too and add some other layers of lace of different colors. In fact, before I even do that, even this piece of coffee stain would be kind of cool. I like this actually better than that lace. And yeah, the different variations of the coffee. And it's kind of ragged up. Okay, and I'm going to leave that ragginess there, and we'll just put that over it. I think that'll look nice. There we go. Turn that off. Okay. You come in, say hi. We are on the Crafty Bunch page, and also it's also here on some of you, if you're watching it on Moments with Celeste, and I encourage you to go over and watch from the Crafty Bunch. And our dear friend Heidi at Joyful Artistries is hosting today's event. And I love being on these different events like this. If you aren't following Joyful Artistry with Heidi or the Crafty Bunch, or if you're not following Moments with Celeste, we'd love for you to go and do that for us and give us all three a follow. Okay, I've got that pressed on. Then we'll come around and we'll do the back side. I just love this paper. Wish I would have bought more. It was actually after they, when they were almost totally closed and everything was like, I don't know, I think I paid maybe 15, 20 cents a piece for these papers, this one here. But the selection was very thin at that point. So I just went through and I grabbed everything I could find. But that was been a while. Okay. So that'll be the spine. Trim it off a little bit. And then I'll probably come back and we'll do some other pretties. Now, I'm going to open her up. This is going to be the fun part, girls. This will be the fun part. Okay. How do I want to do this? I think what I'm going to do for the flips here is I have this paper here. that has like writing on it. Looks very vintagey. And I think that's what I'm going to put on the top. And what I'm going to have to do now, though, is I'm going to have to trace this. And we'll see if we can get it straight. Okay, so if I trace it here, got it the right side up. I'm going to trace the flap. Okay. And we'll cut this first one out. John took Oreo to get his grooming done. So when he comes back in, he'll be acting like, not Oreo, not John. Oreo will be acting like he's a little 6-month-old puppy. He just, when he gets his hair all cut off, he just loves to run around. Okay, so we're going to glue this one up here, all right? I'll get this one on. I finally got my notepad, so I do my videos with my phone, but now I can, instead of having to use my laptop, which has to sit over this way, I can put my little notepad right here and see your comments right in front of me and not crank my neck. It's a good thing. Okay, let's put this on. Okay. And I'll do that on this one here, okay? And then on this flap over here, I'm going to use my music. Here's my music, Heidi. I'm going to use music here, this vintage piece here. And you guys, I pulled this one out because my family, when growing up, we were very, always singing together. And one of the songs my daddy loved was Daddy Sings Bass. It was Daddy Sings Bass, Mama Sings Tenor, leave me a little brother will join white and they're in that old cotton field back home. Well, guess what? It was in this pack that I bought. So we're going to put this, and it's going to have to be pieced together, but I'm going to make it the flip on the top of this. So I'm going to piece it. Let me get it under here. And I'm going to put Daddy Sings the Bass. Let's see if I can do this the right way. I'm going to cut this out. And I'm going to put it at the top. It's just, every time I see this, it's my daddy. He used to love that because he was the bass of the family. And he used to love to just play around with that song with us kids. Oh, I miss my mom and daddy. I sure do. I sure do. Okay, I'm going to press that right on here. Right up to the top. Get that on. Then I'm going to take... trying to make myself cry. I'm going to take this piece here. And the first verse says, I remember when I was a lad, times were hard and things were bad. But there's a silver lining behind every cloud. Just poor people, that's all we were. Trying to make a living out of black land dirt. I mean, it goes on then, Mama's own moves. So, yeah. Memories, memories, memories. Okay, now I'm going to come up here because I want to make sure that I'm going to get a good chunk of this verse on here. And I am going to trace this one. Don't want a whole lot. Well, we'll just do that. Any of you remember that song? Happy to catch you live. Well, hi, Karen. Fancy meeting you here, huh? Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. You're gold pulling weeds and plant, but you're working in the soil too, weren't you? Today, weren't you, Debbie? My dad and mom both had gorgeous, beautiful singing voices, and they're very musically inclined. And my dad would get asked to sing at funerals quite often. And so he, one time had to do a funeral for a rancher out in western Nebraska. And the song that they wanted sung at his funeral, that man's funeral, was Tumbling Tumbleweed. So Dad sang Tumbling Tumbleweed at the funeral. Okay, I'm just going to put this little first Daddy sang bass, Mama sang tenor, because that's actually on the other side of this verse. I'm going to put this because that's the one that just reminds me so much of my daddy. And then I will take this and we will put it about right here. And then I'm going to take another verse because I want the bottom to have a verse on it too. So let's see what we can cut here. I'll join them in the song. Let's see. Singing seems to have a little soul these days. Okay. Silver Lining is going to be down here. Going to not be in the exact order, but it's okay. Doesn't have to be. Okay, we're going to come down here and I'm going to cut this top one off. I don't think it even said on here, I probably glued it down, even what year this song was written. The Statler brothers sing, yes, they sure did. Thank you, Debbie, they sure did. Yep. Mama sang bass. Or Daddy sang bass, not Mama. Sometimes Mamas sing bass too. I can go pretty close to it because I'm an alto. I was the alto. My sister and my mom were the sopranos. My brother's tenor. And it's just the way we were. Okay, we'll put that one down right there. And then we've got that on there. Now I'm just going to come up here after I've made my little mess. Get me a wipe. I love the Statler Brothers music too. Okay, now, so there's going to be the top on that, and I'm just going to come here and I'm going to just turn it off. I may end up keeping this one for myself and making the other one to sell. Now that I've got Daddy's song on it. Okay, good enough for there. I'll come around here. This just makes me giggle every time I hear this sing. Keep hearing this and singing this in my mind. Okay, now we got a couple of pieces here that just need to be patched. So let's just take a piece of this note kind here. then we'll just patch it up, like so. Let's see, I think we'll go about right. I'm actually going to make it go the wrong way on purpose, because it'll make it look like it's on purpose. It'll make it look like it's on purpose. Okay, then this one over here, about the same size. And that'll be there. Okay. All right. Put that on. Trim that off. I think so too, Debbie. You don't come across things like this, and you know what's just stunned me was when I saw it and initially saw it the first time, because it's been here in my thing, in my vintage thing, and was, oh my gosh, I got to do this something for Dad. Okay, so there's my two pockets. There's my front. Okay, now the fun part. Oopsie. I'm wondering if that glue is going to hold there. I might have to go back after I'm done and put some regular glue under there. It's kind of a shiny, slippery type of thing. Okay, now we've got those. Now we have to do this inside piece. So for the inside piece, I've got several options. And one of them is this beautiful piece. Isn't that? I just love these. So I think what we'll do with this one is we're going to run it up here. Now I want to make sure I get it traced correctly. And I'm going to have to make sure, see if we come there to the edge, because I'm thinking if I make sure here and do it right, because then it can slip all the way down inside that pocket. I just don't know how long that pocket is in there. But we'll find out one way or t'other. Okay. So I'm going to cut that out, and then this is where it's going to come down, and then it's going to come just a little shorter than that. And yep, it goes all the way. So I am going to take my paper clippers, my paper cutter here, and cut the bottom line out, because it can even be a little shorter because it won't be seen. I'm going to cut that one out. And then I'm going to take my scissors, follow the pencil line I just made. It's kind of like doing a big envelope with multiple pockets. Okay, so if that one goes there, this one has to go, make sure I get it straight. Okay, this one's got to go, I think about right there. So there's what I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the shape's going to look like. Okay, so let's try it and we'll just see if it's right on. If not, we'll do some trimming. Okay, might need a little smidgen. It's got to come over this way a little. Okay, that's perfect there. And then this one here, that's lined up pretty good too, by George. Okay, let's see. I think it's catching on these little pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to just trim it down at a little angle here and stick it down in there. Come on. Don't know why you want this thinker, but there's two ways to skin the cat. There's two ways to skin the cat, or probably a lot more than two. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to put it right down here, and then we'll trim what's left over at the bottom. Because I don't want to spend all my time here doing just that one piece. Okay, let's see if this will work. Now I gotta remember which one was the top. Oh boy. Okay. That matches. That matches. Okay. So far, so good. Hi, Callie. How are ya? Thanks for popping in, and there's Maureen. Thank you, ladies, for coming in. Okay, now we're going to see where I can go here to make this go in, and I can see that it's about right here that wants to be my little problem child. One of them, anyway. So let's see. Still got to take a little more off of that. The little edge that's trying to go into the... Is that doing that over here too? Okay, come in here. Just going to cut it at an angle because this will be, like I said, down inside. So it's not going to be noticeable. Okay. See how that is. Gosh, it's like wrapping a Christmas present. Okay, that'll work. That will work. And I probably need to take off right here where I folded it. Okay. And then we'll see if we can get a little bit of the glue going here. This will be a trick. Okay. Open her up. Kind of like doing wallpaper, isn't it? Yay, we did her. We got her done. Got her done. Okay. So that's that one. So there's the top, Daddy Sang base, and I'll have to trim that off a little. I'll have to trim this one here a little. Do a little better trimming here when I get all finished up. And of course, you know when I get all through here, I'm going to grunge the edges up. And we'll do that. So there's that part. There's the music. Here's the inside so far. So then the next one we have to do is this piece. And this one here, let's go with... That's so pretty. But I don't think I want to use this. But isn't this a gorgeous piece? But I'm not going to use this on this. I'm not going to use this on this. But I'm going to trim it down a little bit. I'm going to trim it down a little bit from about there to there. And I'm going to use the numbers that are on the other side of it. And then we'll come up about thus far. Okay, so let's turn this one off. Look at this one with all the numbers, the old. Okay. I think this piece here was from, what is it? Yep, Graphic 45. I was going to say that, or 45 Market. I just love their papers. Okay, so it's going to go there to about right there. Then I've still got the pretty on the back that I can use for a different project. Okay. All right, let's see if that's cut right. See if the glue is where the issue's at a little bit here. So that when they glued this down, or glued it in. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to take this one here and come about this far. Let's give that a try. See if that will do it. Okay, that's going to work great. Yay! Showing them black a little more than I wanted it, but I'll just patch that one in. Okay, so if I come up here and take a little more of this off, it'll work. Because whoever made this folder, they had just glued it in quite a bit. Okay, so that's going to work there, and that, oh my gosh, that's right even with the edging. Awesome. Okay, now let's go with Mod Podge again. Come down here and goop it up. Okay. Press it in. Bring it over. Got a little piece of the black showing, so you know I have to take this and fix this here. Just a little one too. Just a sliver. Jeezers. What do I have to just be a sliver for? Okay. Let's put that one right over here against that little part that's sticking up. Do some patchwork here. Okay. So there we've got those two pockets done. Now we've got the bottom one to cover, and I have to decide what I want to do on that one. Now, I don't know, but I really like this paper too. So I have to decide, do I want to use that one? Or do I want to use another one? Let's see, I've got oranges. Got lots of stuff down here. I kind of like that with that little, because it's a very, very vintage. It's a very, very vintage. Here's another one I'm not using, but look at this one. So I think I'll go ahead and go with this because it kind of keeps it in a little neutral feel. Okay, see that vintagey looking print on that? And I'm going to put that one down here, and we're going to run it up to there, and we're going to cut it right here. Okay, and then it's going to come down to about right here. Okay, that one cut. Are you guys still with me? Hi, Donna. How are you today? Thank you so much, Heidi. Hi, Michelle. Michelle's up after I'm done here. And then I gotta find where I put the line. Or the other, right here. Okay. See how this works? Now, this one has a big cut in it. Let's see, it's going to be a little long. So I'm going to fix that up. Probably going to do the same thing here that I did over there, I think. But I'm going to take, if I put this in here and we get it to where it fits. Oh, I don't want it there, duh. Oh, shoot. Look what I went and did. Cut the whole thing again. Okay. That's perfect that way. So then I can just come across here and do a straight cut. Okay, use that for something else. So if I put this, it's going to go across here. So if I take this and it's got that big loop-de-loop. Got that loop-de-loop-de notch there. So let me see if I can even kind of maybe just fake it. It won't be quite as big, I don't think, but it's going to at least give me the template for it. Okay. You guys, I'm messing this up. Okay, so if we go there, and we go there, it's not where I want it to be. I have to cut it down, because this is going to show. Oh, brother. Okay. Gonna do that really slowly. Make sure I do it the right way. And then we're going to take it. It still didn't cut right. Now I've just wasted all of that. Well, shootski kabootski. Okay, we won't use that paper. Let's see what else we have that I can use. Let's see. I've got lots of options, I think. Just want to find something that's going to stay with my pretty little color theme. Well, nope, I don't want that one. Those are pinks. I don't want pink. Well, I may have to just find something else. Hang on, I'm still here. Going through it all. This one would work and it'd be pretty cute. Got gingham check. See what else we've got. I think I'll go with the gingham. And, okay, we're going to put the gingham on. It's going to come there. It's going to stop there. Because I'm going to put trims on here. So that's going to differentiate, okay? And then it's going to come down to there. Okay. Keep your fingers crossed. Say a prayer. Do something quick. Okay. Let's see here. Got it there, got it there. Gonna get her there, okay. If I have a lot of snippets left, I'll be able to do more collages. Right? Okay, so I want that to go, we'll go about right there. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, we'll do that there, and that's going to be fine because we're going to be able to scooch this over, and we're going to put trim on the bottom. I think what I'll do with you guys today is just do this one side and finish it up, and then I'll do the other side later. I don't think I'm going to have enough time now that I messed up. Okay. I'll come back in and figure out that notch. Okay, go to the top. Bring it to the edge of there. And there she blows. Okay. Alright, so that's going to be that. Now, I'm wondering if I take some of my little brown and maybe do some decorations with that, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so there's how the first side is going to look. So I have my panel. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to put trim on this next, okay? And then we're going to open it, and then we have our pockets, okay? So let's come up here and let's do, I'm just not trusting this glue. So let me get that Mod Podge on this sticky stuff. I'm going to put the 3-in-1 on it, maybe. Let's go across the top there. Okay. What I think about scrap busting, too many. I just make smaller scraps. You are very correct. You are very correct, Jill. That's about all we do is make smaller scraps. And I finally got smart a couple years ago and just started saving my bigger, like I will save my pieces like this size. because they do come in handy. Okay, let's try this one here. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're just going to work on this top one here for now. And I'm going to get some trim on this top edge. And let's see what we want. I could definitely put a doily in here. I prefer to do like an ecru colored one if there's any ecru. We got these little pieces. Oh gosh, you got all kinds of little snippets in this thing. Okay, let's do for the top piece. I'm wondering what it would look like to put some of this up here. And I think that's going to work really well, actually. I might even be able to run it all the way across and not have to cut it. That would be good. I just don't want to cover up Daddy's same base. Okay. Okay, let's go with this one. And let's see if it'll work for me to do this. I'm going to come up here and we're just going to put a little bitty bit of it over here on the top. Okay. Find the pretty side. And we want it to be about right there. So I can at least still see the words to the top of the title of the song. Bring it over. And do that. Okay. Got that on. And then if I come all the way over here now, and we do the same thing on this side. Okay. This lace here came from Liz. I know several of us today have been using some of hers. She does that red dirt from Texas, dot staining, and that's what this is. So yeah, I love it because it's very much a neutral and can really be used with a lot of different things. Okay, now we'll come through and we'll get it over here on the front. This glue. Hang on, I'll get you back in the camera too. It looks like you're not really able to see what's kind of going on here, right? So let's just goop it up all the way across. Yeah, her Liz's lace has gotten a lot of mileage on some of my projects. I bought several different types of hers, different designs a while back, and whenever I know I need something that's kind of a neutral, but I don't want the same old, you know, just plain ecru or plain old white, I'll go to this. Oops. Hi, Lori. How are you, my dear? Thanks for popping in. Okay. This one, so it's not quite hanging down as far. So that's going to be the front cover. And I'm going to come up here and do some other things on these too, okay? Just to bring out a little more brightness with it all. And then I'm going to cut this one off here. Okay? And we're going to cut this off over here. Oop, I already cut that one off, didn't I? Okay. So we've got that. And then see, I can still see my daddy sing bass. And that'll make me happy. Okay, and then next, we got this part here that's all going to need grunged up. So let's get my browns. Get out my browns. And distress it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. up here around all the edging. Okay, so I've got that one there. See that? And then I'm going to come down. I'm going to try to do the inside here as well. This little guy is going to hold quite a few pieces of tags and stuff. Of course, you know, you could even make this just be a journal. You know, just put different pieces of paper in there, into the pockets, different tags. I am going to be putting some tags in this. Okay, I'm not going to do that yet. I'll go ahead and do this. Try to figure out how to notch that, but I might just leave it. We'll see. Okay. And then there, so we've got that. I think I'll put a little bit down here on the where the crease is at. Just kind of grunge it a little bit through here. Not a whole lot, but just enough. Okay, now we've got that done. Now I want to take and do some embellishment. And I want to trim. What do I want to use? I think that's going to be quite what I want for that. But go back to my snippet bag here. Problem with the snippet bag is that you don't always have enough snippet. And that's a pretty piece. Look at this. I haven't been able to part with this. It's a sleeve. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I don't want to do that yet on this one. Let's see. Do I have any longer pieces? Here's a long, pretty vintage piece. This one here, we could probably put up here towards the top. And here's what I'm going to do with it, but I am going to wait until I get my other side done because I'm going to show you why. I want it to run in a straight solid, but this is what's going to go on the inside of this one. Isn't that pretty? So that'll be on the edge of that. Now I know I do. I've got some dark browns that might look good on this. See which container I have put them in. Is that a brown one? It's got one piece. I don't know if it's the one I want though. Okay. See, I've got this kind of a brown beige, but I'm thinking I want a little bit darker because it needs some color. So I'm going to also go in with some olive green, and I have here in my mess. Oh look, this is going to be a beautiful piece to add to this. Isn't that pretty? That was made by our friend Carol Adams. The spool is wood, and then that. So we've got over here. Okay, here we go. This might. Oh yeah, look at this one. Won't that be pretty? That's going to be a pretty one. And maybe I'll put it at the bottom. But each one of my layers of the envelope is going to have something to define it, okay? So I'm going to definitely use that fringe piece. I also have this piece here that I can use on the other side, but look at that one. That will go really well with this color. And let's see, we've got, what do we have up here in the main page color? I have a teal. It's teal and oranges and yellows and peaches. So I have this. This is going to make its way probably in it. This gold. Isn't that pretty? And so I've got all kinds of pieces of trim over here. So I've got 5 bins of trim on this side of my wall. not bins, but containers like this, with the two-sided ones I love. And then I've got a stand up with 24 little drawers over here on this side. So they're always right at my arm's reach. Okay, so I don't see any more here that I want. But that's kind of where we're going to go with this. And I know, you know, I was hoping to get more of it done than I was able to get done, so I apologize for that. But it's going to be, we're going to just trim it all out. The whole thing is going to have trims around the edges. So I wanted to show you something else real quick before that's going to go, because I'm going to put tags in there. But I want to show you this really cool, fun tag that I make. I'm doing it in this color. This is like a napkin, okay? So this here is a piece of muslin, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my napkin, if I get it apart here, and this is going to be a snippet piece. And it's going to go down the inside of this. And I'm going to cut it about right here because I've got enough here that I can do both ends with one piece. But I loved this napkin. Again, this was another Carol Adams napkin bundle. And I'm going to take this canvas now. See if we can get it done here real quick. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to saturate it really well. Okay? So strings and all. It's all going to get saturated right here, where I shouldn't be doing it on my thing. Haha. Oh, gosh. Okay. Gonna leave those strings chunked underneath however they fall. And we're just gonna saturate this piece of canvas muslin. Okay. So you get it. This one was probably a Hobby Lobby. Okay. Then we're going to take it, and I'm going to take this piece of one ply off the napkin. That's all off the napkin. See if I got it all. I think I did. Okay, and I'm going to just take it up here at the top, and I am going to press this down. If you ever, you know, wish you had a ribbon that you could use for a trim, but you don't have the right colors, don't forget you can Mod Podge a napkin on fabric. And I love this technique. So I'm even coating here the fringes on the edges because that'll just help keep them all in place. I'm going to come up a little bit, and then I'm going to take my other one here that we had, and I'm going to take this because I really like that orange the most. I'm going to tear this piece off. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put this on, okay? And then I'm going to take this piece here, that's the flower, and let's just see how I want to lay this. I'm just going to lay this in here kind of funky. So we're going to do it over top of that one. You could use an old bed sheet. You could use anything that's fabric. Anything. Okay? So now I've made my own design here. And then I'm going to go over the whole thing and I'm going to coat it with the Mod Podge on top. Get it all sealed down. And I hadn't made any of these for a while, and I'm going to have to get some more made up because I really like this technique. Because then your Mod Podge kind of just gives it a, I don't know, gives it a really cool feeling on the top of it. Okay, so got that. That's where we have it. And I have this. I'm just going to take that, and I just pulled that piece off of there if there's any over the edge, and then I'll have to blow dry it. Okay, this can be used, you can cut it in a thin strip, you can use the whole piece, you can cut it into squares to make tags. And that's what I am going to do with this one. Here's a couple other ones that have been made. Okay. And they feel like paper. It's just a different texture. It doesn't feel like the fabric, and it doesn't feel like, but it's just fun to do. Okay. So I wanted to show you that. So good, we got that done. And then I'll have to get this dried, and then this is going to be cut up, and I'm going to make probably two tags out of this, and then I'll probably use a piece of it to make as a cluster. And then those are the things that I'm going to put in this. I pulled out a whole bunch of my ephemeras that I'm going to put in here that will go with this color theme. Okay? Whoops, this color theme. Alright. So when I get this one done, I will probably do a little video walkthrough for you to take a look. But I hope you enjoyed that. And sorry you didn't get it all done, but you know, we just go with what we can go with, right? I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And we will see you again. I don't have any lives scheduled until I think Monday. So I will probably probably pop in and do something between now and Monday, impromptu. Okay? Love y'all. Have fun. Swipe down if you're on the Crafty Bunch. Keep following the Crafty Bunch for the Vintage Wednesday. And next is my Shell Bell. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Heidi. Bye-bye.